Rawdawg and some randoms. Usually careful, mostly careful though. Always using protection. Double bagging it sometimes just to make sure there's no seepage. Because gonorrhea, herpes, and stuff. I don't want that.
Rawdawg football talk. Strap it up.
Hey, what's going on, football people? Hey, what's going on, Kevin? How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's good to see you, Brian. It's good to be able to be on here and talk a little football for a change.
Hell yeah, man. I can't believe tomorrow kickoff, bro. I mean, everybody waits all the whole January, February time. I mean, a lot of people's teams are out by then, right? So
yeah,
you start to, not have as much interest sometimes as you do when your team makes it all the way. But, a lot of us are dying and we're ready for it. It's been, good 7 months of just waiting.
Patience, and we are ready for some football, man. Let me tell you, one of the things that I do to get ready for the season is we have a fantasy football team for our family.
Yeah, man.
And I do the mock drafts. I do, and we even have a trophy. I'll bring it into one of our shows and say that, hey, it's really kind of cool. But
so have you won that trophy?
Oh, absolutely.
Is that son of a bitch rigged? I don't know.
It isn't rigged, man. I'll tell you what.
It's like, we're going to get a trophy because I'm winning every year.
Oh, yeah. We really have fun with it. And so that's part of it. So then, the preseason. And here's another thing. I got 4 season tickets to the Denver Broncos. Oh. I've had them for over 33 years.
Lucky, and I know there's like a waiting list to get those. Being a huge Denver fan myself, I know that there was like a 2-year waiting list, I think, at one point in time for season holders, but I don't know about now. But I know when a while back after they won the Super Bowl and puttered out on us, unfortunately.
Well, here's the thing. I have a nephew that when he got out of high school put his name on the list, and when he turned 30, he got him.
Gosh dang. Well, yeah. The people in Denver definitely love the Broncos. There's people that, as a matter of fact, I think one of the season pass holders we knew lived like somewhere not even in Colorado, right. And they just would make the trip, man, and or sell off the tickets. But once you get those, though, I heard it's something you just don't let go.
Oh no, I'll never let go of them. The price keeps going up, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah, just like everything else, I guess, in the world, right? So, Kevin, hey, before we get going, this is our first show, and just like the football season, it's preseason, and just like for us, it's preseason as well. So, everybody kind of bear with us. Once again, this is like our first little go at it, and we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun at this. You guys are definitely going to laugh at our expenses, no doubt.
That's for sure.
But, let's get to know a little bit about Kevin. Give us a little bit about your background, bro, and how you ended up coming to love football so much.
Oh, sure. So I'm Kevin Gowron, and I'm the owner of Doc Good Beard Care Products out in Colorado. And I'll make a real quick story. About 2015, I hooked up with my junior high school friend Jim Dorkins. He went to the Air Force and I went to the Marines after high school. We both graduated here in Broomfield, Colorado. And anyways, I ran into him at church, and it was I said, Jim, man, you really smell good. And he goes, I worked for the Teamsters for 40 years. And he goes, I hurt myself. And so he looked like Santa Claus. And he had this white beard. And he goes, I decided to make a little extra money from because I get a little disability, and I need to make some more money. So I thought I'd start uh, making beard care products, beard oil, beard wash, beard balms, and I said, "Oh man," I said, "Well, I'm retired too." I said, "Why don't I just help you?" So we went to trade shows around Denver, and uh, we were selling our product and building our name, and then we got uh, reached out by Kevin Harrington, the original shark on Shark Tank, and Jim and I got real excited about that, and we decided to let them help us do some marketing and build our Facebook page, and so things were really going really well. And Jim and I, in November of 2021, we went to the Colorado Convention Center for a big Christmas show, and Jim contacted COVID and passed away a few weeks later. And I lost my partner, I lost my buddy, and I had a decision to make on whether I should, move forward or call it quits. And this was Jim's dream. And I said, you know what? I talked to my wife, Lisa, and I said, hey, honey, I said, should we go all in? And she goes, I will support you, whatever you want to do. And I go,
that's all you needed.
That's right. You know, the Marines go all in.
That's right.
So anyways, I did, and I've been building the company, and so that's basically what it is. And when I started football, loving football was when I was a kid. My dad was a big football fan, and he also played before he went into the military for the Korean War. And he used to take us to the Bronco games. Yeah. And so I was so involved in the Broncos, and then I got involved in some of the other teams, and I started my career at McGraw-Hill, worked there 28 years. And quick story, how I got my tickets. I was at work. We were selling one of our companies. They had 4-season tickets. This was back in 1990. They couldn't sell the rights back then because they were a business. So they wanted to know if anybody in the company wanted these 4-season tickets. Well, they posted it on the in the lunchroom, and this guy I worked with, he went, he saw him post it, took it down, so nobody in the whole company got to see it. He had left it on his desk. I came in the next morning. I saw it, and I said, shit. I said, he's trying to rip off everybody here at the company. So I went ahead and I called Shirley up, and I said, I'd like to buy these tickets. And she says, well, I will transfer everything over. There's no cost. But the season tickets at that time were 4 of them in section 3, awesome seats, $1,000 for the 4 seats.
Wow. Damn.
So I've been going to the games.
That's a steal, man.
Yeah. I've been going to the games and watching every team in the NFL for years and years and years.
I love it, brother. That's great. So yeah, a little bit about, me. I also United States Marine when I graduated high school. Ever since I was a little boy, though, man, this guy right here.
Yes.
Right here is my dad. And he was a huge New Orleans Saints fan. And obviously this is when they won the Super Bowl. And he was so ecstatic about that, obviously.
Yeah.
Going through the years of being a Saints fan, it was rough.
Right.
I'll never get that right again. But, so them winning was amazing, and I was so excited for him. He was so elated. Unfortunately, he passed away 2020 as well. But ever since I was a little dude, he would put a Saints hat on me, and I was a Saints fan too. We'd always go to the Saints Rams game at the Coliseum.
Yep.
And it was a lot of fun. I remember it was like a kind of a yearly thing for us, and it was a lot of great fun and great memories with him.
Right.
And then as I got older, I tell you what, man, John Elway made me fall in love with the Denver Broncos, right? I mean, he just played with just something about the way he played ball. And then so I fell in love with like the 98, 99 Bronco team, and it was just history for me from there on, where I just totally loved them. And then they went back to back, got another Super Bowl. Right. Had a lot of great runs, right? When with Shanahan as the head coach. When Shanahan left, man, I felt like the Broncos took a major hit. What's his name that came in there? The young guy, the quarterback coach
from New England.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got fired. He went to the Raiders. I can't even think of it.
Yeah,
we don't even think about him because
because he destroyed the Broncos.
Yes,
he literally destroyed the Broncos. I remember him letting go Adam Schefter, who was a tight end at the time.
Yeah.
Great tight end for the Broncos. Let go of some really great ball players, man. Just shoot them away.
And then it was downhill ever since.
And then got rid of Jay Cutler, and then we had to go through the era of Tim Tebow, and he ran, and that's kind of where Josh
McDaniels.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's where Josh McDaniels he got a little bit of some notoriety, right? Tim Tebow came in, had the Tim Tebow magic a little bit to him. Gave him a good run through the playoffs, but
he did.
After that, it kind of really just there was nothing there for him,
Right.
But anyhow, and then unfortunately, football got a little politic for me, and I decided to kind of, take a break from football, and I've always grown up playing it, coaching, I have a love for it. So I always knew that I would be coming back to the game, and and I'm glad that it's more back to being and playing sports, right? So super excited to do this show, and excited to have Kevin as a part of it. We're also going to have our buddy Donald Dunn here as well. Unfortunately, he's under the weather. I know a lot of people are getting kind of sick around there. But we're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. We're going to go ahead and get her started. We're going to start off with the top news around this.
All right, let's go now.
All right. So we got some top headline stories. We're going to go through a couple of them. One of the big ones, before we get actually started, Kevin, let's let me ask a couple questions real quick.
Okay.
Let me just pull this off. Before we get started into the news, I want to ask you, who's your early pick right now? If you were to pick right now, who do you think's going to win it all?
Woo, man. Okay. I would always every year would love.
And I'm going to write this down right now because we're gonna go back to this. This is the preseason, and then after the preseason, we're gonna give another little see if our answers change, right? And then we'll kind of go down the road and see if we really hold tight.
Okay, I think that's a great idea. So I've got a couple of that I'm looking at. Okay, every year I would love to see the Broncos in, but they're not going to make it.
That's your fan favorite, right?
That's
we obviously know that's your fan favorite. Everybody always says their team's going to be in the Super Bowl, right? So we'll
I'm
get past that part.
I'm going to get realistic here,
right?
And I'm gonna give it to San Francisco.
Right, and so unfortunately, fortunately, that's my pick too. Right, so I'm not trying to
really?
jump on anybody's coattail, but that's really who I think is now. But here's where I think they have to go though. Christian McCaffrey has to stay healthy.
Correct.
Brock Purdy's got to get better this year.
Yes,
and the defense, has got to really help them out as well, and kind of keep that offense, nice and fresh, right? And do their job on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of these teams rely kind of solely on a certain player, right? And between the Chiefs and the 49ers, they got a lot of like if Mahomes went down for the Chiefs, they're done. Their season's kind of a wrap in a way. You know what I mean? I don't even know who their backup is. I could be off.
I agree. And the thing about Brandon Ayuk is leaving.
Brandon, what up, brother?
Brandon Ayuk is leaving, and so they gotta figure that out too. So I mean, it's gonna be a tough season, but that's my initial pick.
Same here. All right, so we both are going with San Francisco. All right, so we'll get right back into these headline news, and right off rip, we're going to talk about Christian McCaffrey, and he has a calf strain.
Yep.
And of course, he's not going to see probably any play time during the preseason. And quite honestly, I think that they're going to rely heavily on him as a workhorse. So they need to keep him healthy, and I don't think they plan on playing him much through the preseason.
I don't think they'll play him at all, and if they do, it won't be until when they really go on that third game, the third preseason, when they get everybody in there. He may do one or two plays, and that would be it.
Right. Yeah, and that's it. It's going to be.
I mean,
they're like I said, Christian McCaffrey's slated to have a big year. I think there's a lot of expectations for him. There's a lot riding on him in particular.
Absolutely.
A lot of pressure on him. He's also on the Madden cover, I think, this year. So there's always that Madden curse thing they say, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you better watch out, Christian.
Dang it, man. And you're already showing some damn signs, you know? And then, all right, so
what else we got out there?
We got Commander Zach Ertz praises Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Nothing big there. I don't think there's too much big news going on. Eagles tough guy Zach Bond likely to start at linebacker. Tough options are limited.
Yeah, the Eagles, I think they're going to be good this year.
They will. They're always another tough runner in the NFC, no doubt.
Yeah. And of course, I think, here's the thing about sports TV and all of that too. They love the East Coast. It's always about the Jets, Buffalo, Giants, Philly.
Right.
And so you get a lot more information on those kinds of teams than you would like the Saints or, Carolina or the Cardinals, so you just never know.
Yeah. In the NFL, a lot of, like I said, a lot of these teams rely heavily, and you'll hear me say this a lot. It's a lot about staying healthy, keeping your guys healthy. Let's talk a little bit too about, do you know they're going to implement this new kicking rule this year?
Why don't you tell us about it? I've heard of a little bit.
So let me see if I can cue it up real quick.
Okay.
Because it is shown somewhere, but yeah. So have you heard much about it?
Are they kicking from? Is this for extra points?
No, this is actually going to be the new NFL kickoff, where straight from the beginning.
Where are they going to kick from?
Let me see. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna have Pat McCaffrey talk about it for us. This is where I walk.
Okay.
The new kickoff that they're talking about doing. Let me see. Here we go. All right, here we go. Let me share. Here we go. All right.
The X-verse,
Sure.
which is a fun thing to do. Just kind of blanket statement. Thoughts. How do you feel about this? Not leading anybody in any particular direction.
No.
Just would like to get natural thoughts, natural reaction to the first ever time we're seeing this kickoff as the brand new kickoff for the biggest, best league in the world, the NFL. Now, there was obviously a conversation about the kickoff being removed from the game completely if the special teams coordinators did not figure out how to save the play. And if you lose the kickoff, what's going to happen to punt? What's going to happen to special teams? That was kind of the ripple effect fear that people were having if you lost the kickoff. So the special teams coordinators around the NFL came together, watched what the XFL did, kind of critiqued it a little bit, made it a little bit more NFL-y, but mostly the XFL return. They changed some of the yardages on kickoff, touchbacks in the landing zone, yada, yada, yada. And we saw it for the first time last night. A lot of people's thoughts were fascinating. A lot of people said, I haven't seen enough to judge it. I respected that. I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, that was good civil discourse right there. There were some people who said, this ain't football. Then there were some people that were saying, you know what? I don't mind this. I think you could see the potential. Last night, a lot of XFL guys playing in that game. So the returns and the work is going to look exactly like it did in the XFL. We won't really know what this kickoff's going to look like until we see guys with 4-2s and 4-3s returning the kicks in the back and alongside blocking it all. Now, the Canton surface is a little slick. It is a turf. Obviously, it's a high school field. The people of Ohio are wonderful. They fill that place up. It is a real celebration. And the game got called short, so we don't know who would have ended up winning, but both the teams played great. But the kickoff was the story of this entire thing. If you go to the first kickoff, okay, this is my big takeaway from this thing. If we can put it on his back. So, and next to me here is 13-year NFL vet, corner, and all-pro kickoff and punt returner, Adam Pac-Man Jones. Pac-Man, the camera's that way if you want to say hello to anybody. Hey, yep, that's Pac-Man Jones. Okay, so this is obviously very crucial to both of our careers. Now, one of us has tackled the other person in this shot right now.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Do you want any guesses?
Well, I'm trying to think. When did Pac-Man kick off?
I was going to say, you returned a couple of kicks, didn't you?
Yeah, I played wide receiver a little bit.
Yeah, quarterback.
Yeah, running back, they had me.
Yeah, if he was playing corner, maybe when you were a quarterback.
Yeah, the thing about it was Pac-Man was about to score on us. He was about to break through that first, and I was in there, and I was going for the ball, too. I was going for the ball, too. There's no way, right? Tavon Austin took 198 on me, okay? On the same day that I was giving a Toyota to a family of a returning soldier at halftime. Tavon Austin took 198 yards. That was supposed to be a pin. Tavon Austin, West Virginia legend, highlight legend, takes one in the house. Here. Can't be having the entire West Virginia crew just take one, on my face.
Yeah, makes sense.
Can't have it. Now, needed a fair catch. Son of a bitch wouldn't fair catch ever, this particular guy. So, good gamesmanship, but all pro, literally. Talked about as one of the biggest and best returners of all time. So this is the first time we're seeing this kickoff, okay? So the big question with it all is there's a landing zone here. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me. There's a landing zone right here, okay? Ball has to go in there, obviously. Hang time does not matter. Hang time does not matter at all.
Kick
because this play does not start until somebody touches the ball. So how long it's up here to give your team time to get in there does not matter. All this kicker who's all the way back, it looks kind of weird. I don't love it.
Yeah, it does.
I don't love the way this whole thing kind of looks. But all this kicker's trying to do is land it here, okay? This is the goal, landing it in between the 5 and 10. That's landing it, not where they catch it, landing it. Because if that son of a bitch lands here, that ball's coming out already to 30. So if you're trying to cover and work, you're trying to land it in between the 5 and the goal line. Hang time does not matter. So then the next question is, okay, with the landing zone, 2 people back, these guys aren't allowed to move. Who's telling these people when they're allowed to go cover? Like, when are they allowed to go? And we talked to Coach Riz as he was pitching this rule to the NFL. They said they didn't want what the XFL does. The XFL would blow a whistle This play has started. They touch the ball. You can go. Blow a whistle to kick. Blow a whistle when ball's touched. Blow a whistle when tackle happens.
Too much.
3 whistles, 1 play. Play in between the whistles. There's a lot against football in that particular series of events. I know other sports have it where there's a whistle that indicates something in the middle of a play. I think the NFL people did not want to add an extra whistle. Right. So what they were going to go off of, and Joe Buck pitched this, we'll be talking to Troy Aikman in about an hour and 10 minutes, so live from Canton Hall of Fame, everything he's got going on the call last night, is they're expecting it to be like in baseball when somebody tags up or whatever. So somebody catches a fly ball, they catch it, and then the runner knows that they can go and score. Now, that's been in baseball since the beginning of time. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. For kickoff coverage, there's never been a time where you are, because you're about to, this is like a lot of contact, a lot of running, a lot of everything, a lot of energy. Are you going to make the team? You're covering kicks right now, so you're at the bottom of the roster. You need to know that anyways. So there's a lot. Are you going to be able to hold your water and also get off on the right time when somebody just catches the ball and you just see them catch the ball and then you're like, it's on me. I'm gonna wait. I think that's asking a lot of the kickoff coverage team. So that was my big fear is like, how are we going to indicate when they can start covering and not covering? Because if you're late off the ball and they're able to set up a return, house call. Yeah. But on the flip side, if you're early, you're making the tackle. So this is the first one. Look who go ahead and play it. Guess who makes the tackle? Boom. That guy's first one off the ball, right? Who makes the tackle? Bang. That guy. Right? That's going to be an advantage. Did he leave early? Absolutely. Yeah, he was the first person off the ball before the ball was caught. He has a yard head start on everybody else. Yeah. He ends up making the tackle. So naturally, as somebody who's sat in special teams meetings, and Pac-Man can attest to this, people are going to see this film, and everybody that's going to be trying to make a roster at the bottom of the thing is going to be like, oh, they'll give you a little bit. They'll give you a little bit beforehand. And if you're the first one off the ball, you're going to make the play. You make the play, guess what you make? The team. Yep. Which means what? You make money, which is all anybody is really looking for. So I don't think they had that figured out in the first half. So then they go at halftime, they come out in the second half. Let's go to the opening kick of the second half, okay? Tommy Townsend, who slaughters football, had a 63-yard punt last night. Was his first punt. He is multiple-time Super Bowl champion at this point. Just dog added to the Houston Texans, which I don't like. Sure. I don't like that they just... This team was supposed to be, but nonetheless, let's move forward. Fairbairn's kicking off here. This is the first kickoff of the second half. Go ahead and run it. 3 steps. If it's windy, the 12th player can come on and hold it. Tommy's supposed to get the tee. Instead, waves to his family. He's going to have to get through that entire thing. They have this kickoff. This is the furthest return I think that there was, out to like the 32. Everything else was in between the 20 and 30 from what I saw.
Okay. All right, so there you have it. That is the new kickoff for this season. So the way it works is you see that they're basically lined up about 10 yards apart from each other, the kicking team and the receiving team blockers.
Yeah.
Then it looks like you have about two guys maybe back there in the box, which it looks like it's maybe about a 10-yard box.
It is. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It looks to me like they kick the ball. The guy's got to catch the ball. Once he catches the ball, the blockers can engage and everybody can in turn engage on their stuff.
All right, Brian. So what do you think? What do you think of this rule? I know
it's hard, right? I mean, change is hard, man. I mean, I've been watching football forever, and it's and they've changed a lot of the game. Now, part of what they say in their defense, right, is to give the players more longevity, to give them more, to save their bodies and stuff. But the problem, I guess, I have here when they make that comment is a lot of these guys are hired onto the team just to do that job. Right. I mean, and some of them are maybe third stringers and stuff like that, guys that get to play maybe later, but this is their opportunity to get a chance to play. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, the looks of it at first, it's hard, right? It's a change that I'm not used to. Do I like it? I don't like the way it looks, but I really haven't seen it in play yet. But yeah, not a fan.
I'm not a fan. Right off the bat, I'm not a fan either. I mean, I look at that and go, lining up, at the 20-yard line, and they catch it into the 10. You got the 2 guys in the back. I don't like it. It just the whole thing didn't look right to me. So I'm with you. I think I have a thumbs down on that, but we'll give it a shot and see how it goes tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we can do is give it a shot, let it see how it plays out, right? Give it a season kind of and see how it goes through a couple games and we'll go ahead and go from there. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and move off from the news. I think that that right there is pretty interesting to say the least. They keep changing a lot of different things, and a lot of it seems to be when it comes to the special teams area.
Yeah. And it's good. It's really good that we went out there and explained it to the people because I needed a good explanation myself.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I myself wanted to break it down a little bit more. I wasn't exactly clear on it, but all right, man. The next thing we're gonna probably get into is the weekly division review. But before we do, let's take a little break.
American made, better known. We are Doc Goodbeard. It's more than just looking good. When it comes to your beard, we believe you can have it all. Thoughtfully designed, unique fragrances, and affordable prices. We strive to provide a line of uniquely scented balms and oils that you won't find in other products. Come on, rock with Doc, and remember, it's all about the beard, man. So what do you say? Let's take that average beard and make it badass. Go to docbeard.com.
All right, so now we're going to get into the weekly division review. We're going to kind of go through the different divisions. This first week, we're going to kind of take a look at how we kind of think things are going to shake up in the different divisions. So we'll go ahead and start off with the AFC North and kind of talk about what you vision for the AFC North. What are your thoughts on the AFC North?
All right, here's what I think. First of all, I'm going to start at the bottom with Pittsburgh. We know that Russell Wilson went there, and they're not even playing him. And then you got Justin Fields, and I think he's going to be their quarterback. I think Russell's done. And I actually liked what Justin Fields did in Chicago. So I'm going to keep my eye out on Pittsburgh. I also think that Cincinnati has a shot at getting up there. So those are the two teams I think will be doing pretty strong in the North.
Yeah, I think the North is kind of one of those divisions that's pretty wide open, man. I mean, it's going to be a tough division.
You got Cleveland. You got Cleveland out there that, I mean, they got huge fans out there, and I got a lot of people that I know that are big Browns fans, and they're always giving it their 100%, that team. So I like this division.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. So what are your thoughts on the AFC South?
Okay. Well, I don't think Houston's got anything going on this year. I think Jacksonville's going to be good, and I think Tennessee's going to be good.
Yeah, this division right now, I feel like it's another one of those divisions that any one of them could see themselves at top. I do see some big things, I think, out of the Tennessee Titans. I think they're going to shock a lot of us this season.
I agree.
So we'll have to go ahead and see how that shakes up, man. I mean, I think this season's going to be a really good season. There's a lot of, the teams got to shake up. I think we've talked about this, not necessarily on air, but loyalty isn't really there anymore. So,
right.
Teams shake up every year, no matter what, even no matter how long they think they have a contract for. All right, so let's go ahead and move on into the AFC. Let's see here. We're going to go into the AFC East and West. All right. What are your thoughts, Kevin, on the AFC East?
All right. I'm liking Miami. Man, this is a tough division. I really think, okay, so we got Aaron
Bills,
Rodgers.
I mean, yeah.
And we got Aaron Rodgers.
If he stays healthy.
We got to see what that's going to be about. But, all the hype and all that with the Jets. I'd rather stick with Buffalo myself. I think Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and those guys are really good and can pull it off. I like Tua in Miami, and the Patriots. Well, their run has ended.
Right.
So that's how I feel about the AFC East.
Yeah, I think I kind of see the Buffalo Bills taking the AFC East and definitely challenging deep, possibly into the playoffs.
Yep.
And especially if it ends up in Buffalo, it's rough to play there in the cold seasons, and those guys definitely have the upper hand there. But let's go ahead and move on into the AFC West. What are your thoughts there, Kevin?
All right, Brian, here's what I think about this. All right. I'm just going to bypass the Chiefs for just a second, and I'm going to start off with the Raiders.
Right.
You got Max Crosby. You got these guys out there. The Raiders are always tough. I mean, that's just what the
season. They can definitely ruin your season.
Absolutely. And so I'm looking at those guys because I like their coach. I think he's a solid, old school coach. But I hate the Raiders. I hate those sons of bitches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, anyway.
I mean, you either love them or you hate them.
Oh, I hate them.
Right.
And, Raiders trash, let me tell you. So anyway, then let's move into San Diego. I think they'll just be San Diego. I don't think there's going to be anything totally special. I'm not sure how they'll fare this year. Denver, my God, I mean, I have no idea. We're going to be looking at Bo Nix a lot. We'll be talking about Denver because we have no idea. And we got Justin Simmons, who's a free agent, and he may be going, and you just don't know. I mean, this is the preseason, so we gotta look at that. And then, of course, Kansas City's always in it. If Mahomes gets has a bad year, which is possible. I mean, he's had all these good years for so long. You just never know.
And that's true. I mean, and once again, I feel like the Chiefs are one of those teams who rely heavily on their weapons.
Yep.
And if Mahomes was to go down, man, I think that could potentially be a season-ending thing for them. I do feel, though, I mean, if they stay healthy, they're definitely going to probably have a chance to make a run for the Super Bowl again and take a run for that 3-peat.
Yeah, I always call them Mahomies.
But I hope the 49ers would take them out, because I do hope the 49ers, a healthy 49er team, is going to spank the Chiefs, man. That's just my thought.
Yeah, well, and let me tell you, Patrick Mahomes, he is a whiner when he gets hurt. And he pretends more, I believe, that he's hurt more than what he is. But he's a tough son of a bitch, man.
Right.
I give him total credit. I think the guy's great. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's and unfortunately, I think the bottom of the barrel is really I hate to say it, but the Broncos are the Chargers, man. I mean,
Yep.
It's going to be a rough year for the Broncos. They're going through a lot of growing pains.
Yep.
And, I think it's going to be a little time before you actually see them back up in the runnings again. I mean, it's as a Broncos fan, it's one of those times you got to kind of work through it. And this is where the loyalty starts to lie in, and you find out who those their fans are and shit, and start, jumping the bandwagons. So,
all
right.
I agree.
We're going to go ahead and move on into the NFC. We'll start off with the North and South.
Okay.
What's your look on the NFC North?
I love Detroit. I love Detroit, and I'll tell you why. Again, I look at the whole picture. I like to look at the coaching staff, and I love their head coach.
He's definitely a player's coach.
Absolutely. And so I think that we got Minnesota with Justin Jefferson that will be kicking ass. I think they're going to do it. And I'm not sure how Chicago's going to do this year. I'm a big Bears fan when I was a kid before I was a Bronco fan. And, when
that's funny. Their colors are sometimes similar. Like,
yeah.
And
then, and I'm not sure what Green Bay's going to do. So but my team I'm going to pick in the North is Detroit.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings in the North this season. I think they're going to be tough. We'll see. I mean, Detroit's another. They're also making a headway in the North as well. Green Bay's always kind of struggled after Aaron Rodgers left. They just, to me, they haven't fully recovered there, and they're still kind of going through a lot of growing pains. Same thing with the Chicago Bears. I feel like they've never really been able to find a good fitting quarterback there.
Correct.
So the North is another one of those divisions for me that's pretty tough. But if I was to pick one, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings there. All right. Switching it up over to the NFC South. How are you liking that? That's always a tough division, if you ask me.
I agree. So I'm going to go like this. I'm taking the Saints, and then I'm taking Tampa Bay, then Atlanta, and then Carolina.
All right. I think for myself, I'm looking at Atlanta. Atlanta is number one, I think.
Okay.
And I think the Saints are going to challenge them well. And I think there's going to be a tough challenge between 1 and 2, between the Falcons and the Saints there. And the Bucs and the Carolina Panthers. I think the Panthers they're still struggling a little bit, I think, to find their groove as well. And going through growing pains just as much. I think for me, the preseason favorite to win the South is I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons there.
All right. Sounds good. I can't wait till we go back on this episode. I can't wait to go back and review this.
Me too. I'm trying to take some notes too. And I'm definitely going to be taking notes on our pick'ems for sure. So that way we keep standing. We'll show each week what the standing is on that.
Okay.
So, all right, now we're going to move on into the NFC East and West. What's your thoughts on the NFC East, Kevin?
Whoa, man, oh man. Let's see. The Eagles are going to be in it, I think. I think Washington is coming up strong. I really do. I think they've been building their team, and I would look out for them this year. I can't stand Dallas, so
I can't stand them. But unfortunately, I can't. The hater in me doesn't want to pick them, but I do think they're going to be tough in the NFC East.
I think they are too.
It depends on Dak, I think, too. And
Yeah.
his he has a big year to show if he's going to be the leader for them or not. I think it's one of those years, like kind of like a break or make 'em year, and
I think Dak is inconsistent, is what I think.
he is. That is a big thing for him, right? Like you just never know what you're going to get, kind of thing.
Right.
This could be a blazing season for him,
Right.
but I think a lot of it too has to be, a lot of the factor goes into his O-line, right? Is he going to have good protection? Yeah, he's got feet and he can move, but if you want to keep him back there and keep him healthy, you don't necessarily want him to be on the move all the time. So I'm hoping they're really working really hard on the offseason for Dak's sake, to give him a little bit of something. But I think their O-line is going to be a big factor for them. And in the Washington Commanders, they're tough sometimes too. I mean, the NFC East has always been a very tough division, but I do think, for me, I think I'm going to probably go in the NFC East. I'm probably going to go with the Eagles.
Okay.
Number 1, Cowboys number 2, Giants number 3, and Washington Commanders number 4. That's
perfect.
Kind of what I think.
I'm going to kick your ass.
So then where did you line up on that then?
I took Philly, and then
so we got the same.
Yeah, and then I took Washington, and then I took the Giants, and I'm sorry, I took Dallas and then the Giants.
Okay, so your bottom of the barrel there is the Giants.
Yes.
Which, I've always been impartial to the damn Giants, because I've always kind of chose like an AFC and an NFC team, and Giants was always the team I always leaned towards, I guess, on the NFC time. Now I've kind of phased into I really do like the San Francisco 49ers. I really do.
I do too.
And as we're talking about the 49ers, let's talk about the NFC West.
Yeah, let's do. And obviously, I'm picking them for everything. So, so I'm taking 49ers to win that division. And I'm picking the Rams to be there. And then the Cardinals, and then Seahawks.
You know what? That's pretty much exactly how I would line it up as well. For me, I really do see that the 49ers have a great opportunity and chance to win it all. I mean, the Super Bowl last year was a great Super Bowl. I would love to see that rematch again. Although I don't really want to see the damn Chiefs again. I honestly,
right, I agree.
Kind of tired of seeing the Chiefs. Sorry, Chiefs fans.
Well, but, sorry, Chiefs fans, but it's you've now become New England fan, like New England.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Now you're on that exact same wagon. We're like, hey, get the hell out of here.
So everybody's not going to like you, although you got a great team, and I know. But, hey, we'll be playing you twice this year.
Yeah, and, it kind of gets annoying. So here's the thing, right? My wife is a Taylor Swift fan.
Okay.
So guess who she likes now? Kansas City Chiefs, because of Travis Kelce.
Right.
So how does that go well for me, right? I've always hated the damn Chiefs, being a Broncos fan.
Right.
Now I got my wife in here repping. She's got Chiefs gear now. I'm like, what? Oh man.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious to me, and gets kind of annoying. Damn it. We start having to hear about Taylor Swift here in all these games.
I know. Well, we'll have to give Kansas City some kudos throughout the season. We'll see what happens, because God knows how many times they're going to put her on TV.
Dang, man. I mean, before you know it, the NFL is going to have to start paying her to be a part of the show, because she is bringing a whole level of fans that weren't there before. You can't deny it.
Absolutely.
Kelsey's jerseys and all that stuff spiked up in prices. So you can't deny the facts and what's in front of you. You can hate on it all you want.
Exactly.
But facts are facts. But hey, man, let's go ahead and we'll get ready to kick into the next, the last final thing. Before we get in, we'll take a quick short break.
Okay.
Are you ready to experience the power of military community right from the comfort of your living room? Introducing Military United podcast streams, now available on the Roku channel. Get ready to dive into a world of incredible stories, inspiring discussions, and the best entertainment the military community has to offer. With our veteran podcast hosts, you'll gain insights into the experiences that have shaped our heroes. And that's not all. We've got a lineup of talented veteran musicians playing rock, country, and more. Get ready to rock out with these incredible artists who have served our country and are now ready to entertain you with their soulful tunes. But wait, there's more. We've also got veteran comedians who will have you in stitches with their hilarious and relatable stories. Laughter is the best medicine, and these brave men and women know how to deliver it. So gather your loved ones, grab some popcorn, and prepare for an unforgettable journey into the world of military podcast, music, and comedy. With Military United podcast streams now on Roku, you can access all this incredible content with just a few clicks of a button. Military United podcast streams on Roku channel. It's time to honor, entertain, and celebrate the incredible men and women who have served our country. Join us today and experience the power of the military community like never before.
Come on. Not over yet.
All right. This is kind of where it gets fun, man. This
Let's
is where
do it.
we get to go through 5 different games when this is the preseason starts tomorrow. We got tomorrow. I'm gonna kind of go through the schedule of what we got going on. So tomorrow, August 8th, kickoff. We got Panthers versus the Patriots, and then we got the Lions and the Giants. That's our first 2 games on Thursday night, August 8th, and then on the 9th, August 9th, they're gonna spoil us with 3 games. We got the Atlanta Falcons versus the Miami Dolphins, Houston Texans versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, Philadelphia Eagles versus the Ravens. Then on August 10th, we got Washington Commanders versus the New York Jets, and we have the Chicago Bears versus Buffalo Bills. We got the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers versus Cleveland Browns, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Jaguars, San Francisco 49ers versus the Titans, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Bengals, Seahawks versus Chargers, and Saints Cardinals. And then to finish it off, back to good old Monday Night Football. They're going to hit it off with a doubleheader. We got the Denver Broncos versus the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah,
Lord. And the Dallas Cowboys versus the Los Angeles Rams. So
woo!
It is going to be an exciting season. But we're going to talk about 5 games specifically to us.
Okay.
And this is where we're going to start it off. And we're going to start picking our game of the week. We got these 5 games. And here's the first one. We're going to go Panthers versus the Patriots. So, Kevin.
All right, here's what I think.
What are you thinking, brother?
I'm thinking. Okay, I'm thinking. First,
are you nervous?
Hell no.
No, this is preseason, man.
Hey, are we gonna do points? Or
Are
we just gonna do pick 'em?
I think we'll just do heads up. Yeah, we'll do pick 'em for now. We'll see how the
Okay.
preseason goes and see if we need to add in the points.
Okay.
Maybe we do one game with points. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We could do something like that. That sounds
Right.
good. Well, I am going to take. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I'm taking the Panthers.
Roger that. All right, you go with the Panthers. I am going to actually go with the Patriots on this one.
Okay.
So we already have a discrepancy here.
That's the way it needs to be.
That's right. All right. So for the preseason 2 game, we got the Lions versus the Giants. What do we got here, Kevin?
Taking the Lions.
Lions. And I'm going to go with the Lions as well.
Okay.
Definitely think the Lions get up, and it's hard preseason. You're on a whim here, but I think a lot of us think if it was this real season, who would we probably go with? That's kind of.
Well, we're gonna get to see some guys play a few plays right up
there.
front.
Yeah, they did say a lot of these guys. There are quite a few teams out there that plan on playing their starters in the first quarter. So
absolutely.
All right, so preseason 3 game, we picked the Texans versus the Steelers. What do you got there?
Steelers all the way.
Steelers. Yeah, I think myself, I'm going to pick Steelers on this one as well. All right, and for preseason game 4, we went with the Falcons versus the Dolphins. What do you got here? This one actually might be a really good preseason game to start off.
I think it will, but I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
Going with the Dolphins here. All right. I'm really torn here. But I do feel I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to go with the Falcons here.
Awesome. I'll tell you what, if the Dolphins lose, I'll be singing Darius Rucker's song about how the Dolphins make him cry.
Well, hell, now guess what you're going to be doing next week if that happens, brother?
Yeah, okay, we'll see.
Get your damn voice tuned in, brother.
Hey, I'll be ready, man. You never know what I'm going to come up with. I might just whip out my harmonica.
All right, man. So for the final game, we got the Eagles versus the Ravens.
I'm taking the Ravens.
Wow, okay. Going Ravens with Kevin here, and I'm going to go with the Eagles. So, boy, we actually went pretty, for a second there, we were kind of going the same. We had 2 games. I think we picked the exact same thing, but 3 other games, we have a different perspective. So it's going to be interesting to see how it falls out. We're going to keep a running standing of how our pick'ems go. So through the preseason, we'll see how it falls out. I'm going to go ahead and reach out to my buddy Donald, and we'll get his picks as well to make sure we kind of keep it going, and can talk crap next week.
Oh yeah, we'll talk crap.
You know what I mean?
and, oh, absolutely. And here's the thing. We'll since we are we are so split on our games, it'll be great when we review them next week because we'll get to really talk about different teams.
Right. And I mean, this is, the fun part about these pick'ems too, is I feel like we'll be watching these games a little bit more than we probably would have any other time, kind of paying attention.
NFL
especially when our picks are on the line, man. We're just sitting here like a damn coach with a clipboard, like, come on.
Yep, NFL Red Zone, baby. It's on all the
Oh, hell yeah, man. They definitely got to make that for the A&E folks. You
got it, Brian.
Like all that action, brother. But hey, man, it's been a fun show.
It's been great.
I'm excited to get this season on a roll, and like I said, we'll improve the show as we go, or hey, maybe we like the way it rolls. But nevertheless, we appreciate each and every one of you guys out there checking us out. Give us a like, a follow, share us out. It will really help us. And we're looking, like I said, I know I'm looking forward to. What about you, Kevin?
Oh, man, I've been waiting all season for this. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of cool things. We're even going to have some special guests.
Absolutely.
So this is going to be great. Please join us. Rawdawg Football Talk, man. We're going this season. We're going strong, and we thank all of you for joining us.
Right, and if you got a Spotify, Apple account, we're going to be adding Rawdawg Football Talk. It's already currently on Spotify, so you'll be able to listen to this on the audio side. Say if you weren't able to catch the entire show, or maybe you just like listening to the audio portion of it and you don't like looking at our beautiful face. You could just check it out over there on the audio side. But hey, I think it was a great time. I'm excited to see how the football weekend pans out, man. And we'll be right back here next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to talk about it again and get raw with it.
Get raw with it. Donald, looking forward to you, man, coming next week.
Hell yeah. Same here. Get better, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. And each and every one of you guys take care of yourself, and we'll see you guys on the next
All right.
one.
Later.